A fully restored World War II-era B-17 Flying Fortress bomber will be taking World War II veterans and the public on flights this weekend as part of the Liberty Foundation's Salute to Veterans Tour. Among those participating is local World War II veteran Tech Sergeant Lee Hutchinson. Hutchinson, now 92, was a radio operator and gunner on a B-17 during the war.
The radio operator room is right behind the bomb bay, and because I was trained, I had a desk, a swivel chair, I had a receiver in front of me, the transmitter behind me. Morse code was the only way to communicate in those days. There were no cell phones, etc. And so you had to be able to send 20 words a minute and receive 20 words a minute in Morse code. So it did all it. And when we made lead crew, I could not leave the desk. I had to stay on there, and I had to send position reports as we went in. And if we saw a flak, he'd say, tell them where that is.
Drafted out of high school into the 8th Army Air Corps and based in England, Hutchinson flew 20 missions over Europe before he was 20 years old.
And once you start the bomb run, you go about 20 miles into the flak. The target's there, the sky is full of exploding shells, and you have to fly into it. So that's when you learn how to pray.
Hutchinson would have sat right here in the radio operator's seat, and during his missions, his view would have looked something like this. This is the view the bombardier would have had from his post in front of the cockpit. Imagine, if you will, flying into heavy flak over enemy territory and looking out this window to see enemy fighters coming straight at you. This was the life of a B-17 crewman during World War II. One of the men making these flights possible is volunteer pilot John Hess. Hess says the importance of what men like Hutchinson did is never lost on him.
I am so honored. Literally, we are pinching ourselves when we're flying this thing, saying this is so neat that we're able to do this now, because here we are 75 years later, and we're able to still fly the airplanes and kind of demonstrate them to the public, give them the experience like this. But when we have, like we did today, where we have an actual veteran be able to go up on a ride, that is just phenomenal. That is so great to be able to let him relive that again. But we're hoping to have some veterans come out and share their stories about B-17s and World War II and help pass this on to the next generations and help educate us all about what they endured to help win World War II.
73 years after the end of World War II, and no longer under orders to fly into harm's way, Hutchinson can now enjoy flying in the plane he once flew on missions behind enemy lines.
Well, I just do it. I like to do it. I try to grab the radio operator's seat, sit and look out my little window, and go do it that way, you know.
Today will be a walk in the park for you.
Yeah, oh yeah, this is a walk in the park.
At the Clark County Airport, Will Weible, WHAS 11 News.